Yo, it's great to see you again. Welcome back to the channel. Fear is probably one of the biggest determinants of our lives. Right there in these big moments, these big decisions, it is right there with you, and you are scared and you feel frightened just because of some possibility in your mind. These big decisions, whether or not you are gonna ask that one person out, and maybe you're gonna find your dream partner through that, or you go away from that opportunity. You might go for that one job that you always dreamed of, or for that adventure and journey you always wanted for yourself. But you know, the thing most people underestimate is that we all have the capacity and possibility to change our fear, to learn from our fear, because it is completely subjective, and we believe in certain things that are very individual, and other people don't fear them. Therefore, you can see right here that if we raise our awareness, our consciousness towards and according to our fear, we can change our life. So whenever we feel scared, it is actually our own decision. Even though we have other options in these moments, we feel like we don't have them because we don't know better. And there's this phrase that fear is the narrowness of your consciousness. So when you expand your consciousness, the fear goes away. But what does that mean in detail? Let me explain. In detail, it means that fear is created by yourself, not by the circumstances around us. It is the subjective interpretation of reality. And it just happens so to be that there are two concrete ideas which cannot coexist together in your mind, and therefore we experience fear. Let me explain that with a simple example so you can know and get what I'm saying. For example, you have the self-image of being a doctor one day. Therefore, you study medicine. And then on that journey towards that, you write an exam and you receive a bad grade. And the fear kicks in. Because these two ideas are now contradicting. One, your self-image of becoming a doctor someday, and your belief that this grade, this exam, will threaten your self-image. Therefore, you feel fear and anxiety of these two things contradicting each other and making it impossible for your dream to come true. But there is the thing. It is not really contradicting itself. It's just your interpretation of it, your perception of this situation. If you would have the belief and the confidence in yourself that no matter what happens, no matter what circumstances or what grades, you have the capability and possibility to go for your dreams, regardless of the circumstances and consequences around you, you wouldn't have a reason to feel fear in that moment. So you see, it is actually your choice, because you believe this contradicts each other. This is actually a problem for the self-image, which is not. It is just your subjective opinion about it. And this is so funny and astonishing at the same time, that we see all of these people around us live like that as well. All of the family members, friends, and school members, and even at university, and the students live that same fear mindset. So we think that's how it's supposed to be. But whenever it is the case that everybody is doing it, there's probably a better way of doing it. So the solution lies within our own perspective. Whenever we choose to keep our own narrow perspective, the natural consequence is that we experience fear and anxiety to fail. But right here we can understand that it is actually our own choice, because we want to keep this narrow perspective. We want to believe in the things that we believe in. But then we have to accept the fact that we choose to suffer this fear because we consciously decided to not change anything. So I hope you can see now that we don't have to suffer these consequences of fear, stress, and anxiety. Because when we understand that fear is subjective and dependent on our own mental representations, we can shift from that and change that course and revolutionize our perception of reality. Because fear does not have to govern us. We can conquer our own fear. By understanding in the first place, where does this fear come from? Is it really necessary to experience this, or can I change something and do something about it? And secondly, we can start to reframe our own beliefs and mental conditions to experience life and all of these big decisions and moments in our lives. And once we do that, we change and reframe all of these experiences, all of these conflicts, big decisions and problems we have in our lives. And once we start to develop a different perception of these situations, because we understand that we have a responsibility to work on our fear, everything changes. These questions, when asked sincerely, will expand your consciousness, and you will open up your mind for new thoughts and instincts which will tell you alternative thought patterns. And you will experience then that these two thoughts, which were contradicting each other now, will no longer contradict each other, because there's enough space for both of them. Therefore, fear has no reason to naturally occur in your life. And therefore you will become the master of your fear, and fear will lose the grip on your life. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, you can subscribe right here, and if you want to watch another one, you can click right here. I'll see you in the next one. Much love.